to each and every one of you, and welcome in to the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the Impact Power Sports studio. Impact Power Sports, a fantastic place to go when you want to buy a golf cart. Who wouldn't want to buy a golf cart? Head on over to their website, impactpowersportsmi.com, and pick and choose. Maybe it's an Easy Go or a Yamaha golf cart. Perhaps you're looking at a side-by-side, maybe a motorcycle, scooter, e-bike. They've got them all at Impact Power Sports. They are along 14 Mile Road in beautiful Rockford, Michigan. First and foremost, I think it's important for me to point out that there is a trivia night tonight to benefit hungry animals. The Grand Rapids Pit Bull Alliance called upon your old pal EZ to host trivia night. And that is the plan. So at about 6:30 is when this is all going to get started. We do have one team from the show that is there. That would be Megan, Stevie, Sarah Rookruck-Roosh, Maureen, Linda, and Pooh Bear. They make up one team. This event is at City Built Brewing Company, 820 Monroe Avenue Northwest, Suite 155 in beautiful Grand Rapids, Michigan. Linda says, no, I'm not playing. Oh, I thought you were. Wait a minute. Were you originally scheduled to be there? So wait, Megan, Sarah, Stevie, Maureen, Pooh Bear. Am I missing anybody? Did you initially say you were going to be there and then you changed your mind? What's going on here? I don't even know. Ryan is here. It's been a while since we've seen hide nor hair. Glad you're here. Welcome into this edition of the Eric Zane Show podcast. So this organization, Grand Rapids Pit Bull Alliance, it's not just pit bulls. It's all dogs. They just happen to call themselves that. I think it all started with pit bulls. Maximum 6 per team. When you go in there, you make a $10 donation or just stop and get a 10-pound or larger bag of pet food. They use the money to buy food, or they just use the food that you donate for folks who need to feed their dogs. So there you go. It's a great group there. Prizes for the top 3 teams. I'm not sure what exactly the prizes are, but the fact of the matter is it's going to be a lot of fun. Have yourself a couple of pops at City Built Brewing Company. I've not been there. So there you go. Look, they even write, join us for a night of fun, challenging questions, and plenty of laughs with Eric at the helm. Don't miss out on all the fun at City Built Brewing Company tonight. Especially encouraged to attend people who don't like me. This is a perfect opportunity for me out in the wild to answer any of your attacking questions that you may have about me. Occasionally, people get butthurt at what I do to earn a living. All right. So welcome in. I want to get right to something that we have coming up on the Thursday, Big Fraud Thursday, Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. As Ryan says, I hope you're wearing your Ogemaw Heights Dirt Person sweatshirt to the event. Yeah, that's where Justin went to high school. They come from dirt. I'm kidding, of course. I sound like Free Beer now. I'm just kidding. So yesterday on the Patreon, I unveiled a bit of audio video from 1995. late spring 1995. I didn't know this existed. It's of me at my first radio station, Z93. This is perfect material to review for the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. Coming up, the next show on Big Fraud Thursday of this week. That will be the 13th of March. Big Fraud Thursday gets started with Who Are These Free Beers at 6. Ben and Eric Patreon podcast at 7. So a couple of new things on that episode of the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. First of all, Ben he says he guarantees he has the drop machine ready to go. Which, he has a drop machine. I have a drop machine. I don't like to use my drop machine when I'm in here doing a show alone. It's distracting if I have to sit here and look for drops. The only time, in my opinion, I've made this very clear that drops work is when there's more than one person and the other person is in charge, the one who's doing less of the talking is hitting the drops. So that will be Ben from his remote location. Now, have we tested it to make sure that it sounds okay, that it's not overpowering because, it's through a Zoom feed? No, we haven't done that. It'll probably be a huge pile of shit. So Ben will be back on the drops, which is kind of the way we did it on the WBBL show. Ryan is here. He says, I'll do the drops. Ryan is great because there was a time during the course of this podcast that he trained his AI to do AI Eric Zane. So he has then AI Eric Zane, and then he would type out crazy shit that I would say. But then we worked and agreed that real life Eric Zane is actually more damaging than AI Eric Zane. Amanda says, I told you we can set up the drops on this live feed. Well, yes, you can, but that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm looking for. And frankly, the last thing I want is whoever is in the live stream firing off random drops. Ben is one thing. You is another. Ryan says, cue the Amanda show open. Yeah, this is Amanda who said yesterday that bowling is strength training. Chris says that audience members firing off drops would get old in 3 seconds. Yeah, probably. It'd be a huge distraction. I don't know if I'd be down for that. Fun to talk about. Jeremy says, remember this always. The audience is not funny. We think we're funny, but we're not. And that's true. Now, there are moments that a comment in the chat is worthy of hilarity. Is actually worth it to mention and say, that's fucking funny. And there's only a handful of you that can pull that off. Matt says random outbursts are for professionals like the late Kenny and Tofus. R.I.P. Kenny and Tofus. Tofus was a self-imposed banning, I guess. I guess he just left. Kenny was actually, it's like, no, I'm sorry. We're going to have to go our separate ways. And I'll leave it at that. I don't even want to say anything that could be construed as a negative. I don't want to be inflammatory about any of that. Ryan says, holy shit, I take 3 months off and Kenny is slaughtered. Well, yeah, again, I want to keep this above board. But it's been more than a month now. Kenny does still lurk and enjoy the show somehow. But yeah, unfortunately, we had to part ways. We had some good times for sure, but I am not above drawing the line in the sand with anyone, as you will know. I've done that in the past with the great Zaniac exodus of whatever year that was, and yeah, you got to work at it, but there is a time eventually that I will say, okay, I think we got to. I think we got to wrap this up. Chris K says that Tophus rage quit on his own. Absolutely. And I think that Tophus there are two very, very different scenarios. Tophus quit on his own. Kenny, actually, I had to separate him from us. I did that. Based on all of the dramatics that I've grown tired of it, and we just can't have it anymore. We're trying to have a good time here. But Tophus, very, very different. There was some discussion going on, and Chris told him to calm his tits. That's all he said. And then Tophus, he has a tendency to really go hard. Calm your tits. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. Stevie says it. Yes. Cole says Tophus, the most tolerant lefty. Yeah, my MAGA scum here have a lot more tolerance than Tophus. Yeah, he is not tolerant. All of my MAGA scumbags are a hell of a lot more tolerant. I can say the meanest shit ever to my MAGA losers who are here, and it just rolls off their back. Now, I don't know if that has to do with the fact that their guy won the election. Like yesterday, I went hard at them talking about how it's their fucking fault that the Dow lost 1,000 points yesterday. It's because you dumb fucks put him in office. Now, even though what I just said there is extremely inflammatory, all these dumb shits are going to do is sit there and laugh in my fucking face over that. That's all they're going to do. They don't care. I don't know why you idiots think that is a good thing. And this is going to continue. Go look at your 401k. Only MAGA losers can look at their 401ks today. All right? Take a look at the tens of thousands of dollars that you have lost. Okay? And that's happened because of these stupid fucking tariffs. Rebecca with a news flash. She says, my news alerts are telling me that the Dow is still dropping. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to be bankrupt. Molly says, I like Kenny. He's a good dude. He is a good dude. There is no question. But he cannot be on this chat, and I cannot have any contact with Kenny. I am not going to have any contact with Kenny. I have moved on. I am not beyond that. So I want you all to continue your friendship with Kenny. I will not. I am not doing that. For my own livelihood. I'm trying to build a business here. So we are done with that. I don't fault any of you for still being sweet to him, and I encourage you to do that. But we have gone our separate ways. I have said I am sorry, but I've had enough. No more. And that's all I have to say. Mark Ride says, oh, darn, I don't want to look. I looked yesterday. In about a week, I lost a few thousand. Molly says you should give him another shot, Eric. No offense, darling, but that ship has sailed. This isn't like one and done. This has been building for literally years. And so I cannot do that anymore. I cannot do that anymore. And I would love it if I didn't have to talk about it. I know you're wondering, but I would rather talk about fun things, not separating from an audience member. All right. Jeremy says the chat has been much more positive since he and Tophus left. Okay. Chris says he coined the term rage quit. Yeah, there will be no more rage quitting anymore. I can promise you that. We've got we have moved forward and we are enjoying things, and that's the end of it. And that's not intended to be an assault on Kenny. That is not at all what I'm doing. He's watching right now. He just has to pay attention to the commercials now because his setup won't allow, because he's banned. He can't participate on the chat or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, let's get to what I wanted to talk about. I was talking about how Ben and Eric on Thursday, we will be reviewing some of this right here. Okay. There you go. Now that is a supercut of, that is a screenshot from yesterday's a little video that I made to show you. It was kind of like a promotional piece for a video that I'm going to broadcast on Thursday during the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. You'll see there in that clip, that is young Eric and old Eric. What a giant toothy grin. I think it's because the sun's in my eyes. I don't know, but those are big fucking teeth. And I'm making a stupid face. All right. What's going on? Why? How did this come about? Chris in Buffalo sent me this video. It is a video that chronicled the 1995 Z93 Rock and Blues Festival. That is an event that we did, our radio station in Saginaw. And we're going to review this video coming up on Thursday. This is how it starts. Is that Cliff working beside you? Yeah.
Beauty show today, eh?
Where'd you get that camera? Is that yours?
Yes, it was mine, Eric, and it still is mine exactly 20 years later. I was pretty surprised to find...
That's my pal Rick Church. I talked about this on the Patreon yesterday. Rick is the guy who, in this clip, he's my boss. Prior to that, he was the afternoon guy, fresh from the state of Minnesota, Duluth. He was the one that was at the radio station when my boss at the time had sex with the sales chick on her desk. And I saw it. And I was like, it was such a crazy fucking scenario. Holy shit. Ryan says, how the hell did Chris scrape the butthole of the internet to find this? I don't even want to know how deeply he had to scrape. David says, no, that is a great story. I think I should tell it again. I will.
Find that it still worked, at least for playback, which was pretty important because I had these stacks of 8mm tapes that could only be played back in the camera. Picked up a little USB converter from Best Buy, and just like that, we're in the digital Wayback Machine to 1995.
All right, there you go. The Z93, the first ever Rock and Blues Festival. I think we had like 2 or 3 of these things.
Hey, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Getting the stage set up. August 25th, 1995. Okay, now that's a mistake. I thought it was late spring, but it's not. So that means Jim was how old? He was born April, and that was 95, May, June. So Jim was only 4 months old. I was still drinking when this video was made.
Bring it up a little, L.
So I'm guessing that in several of the scenes, I might even be drunk.
What makes
Bands are playing Papa Chubby, Larry McRae.
That's what we decided watching
This the guy in the middle. This is the one. That's the guy who has the video camera.
I'm still missing one page.
Right.
Is that Cliff working beside you?
Radio staff of Z93. This guy passed away. He was the general manager of the radio station. There's Joe from Joe and the Poor Boy.
Cigar so we can put it off. Here, while you're there, what's the burn all these holes on my neck?
Mike Thomas meets Mad Magazine superstar Alfred E. Newman. Hey, I read all your comics. Hey, to the kids.
I love the fold-in, especially the one with the butt.
I will lift out the idiot parts with me, and we will get into them coming up on a Thursday edition of the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. Aram says they keep this stuff on the deep web. Ryan says the sales sex story is the best story I've ever heard on the show, worthy of playing every time you're out. Well, I don't know. I think that the sales sex story was fantastic, but I don't know if I can say it's better than the Gary from the Men's Warehouse incident. Man Bun Chris has already seen the video. He's referencing something called the chili dance. Careful, you don't want to spoil anything. That will be reviewed coming up on the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. So a couple of years before that video was shot, I was at the mobile home of rock and roll. Radio station is in a double-wide modular home. Nothing else around it. A dirt road leads to it in Freeland, Michigan. Midland area, Freeland. Near where Freeberg grew up, actually. This is before I knew him. I remember walking into the radio station wearing my acid wash jeans and my cowboy boots and my too tight T-shirt. So the fashion sense that I have now was around then. The radio station had just gotten some ratings, and they did very well on the mobile home of rock and roll. And there was a ratings celebration. My show started at 7 p.m. The Poor Boy at Night is what it was known as. The guy who shot that video that you saw his image there, talking Rick Church, he was the afternoon guy. He worked till 7. He hadn't been there very long. The boss, Mike, was the program director. I come walking up the walkway to the modular home, and he's standing there, and he's with a lady named Shar, who's a sales lady. Beautiful. Just a stunner. And he goes, "Hey, poor boy. Poor boy, what's up, poor boy?" I'm like, "Hey, hi." I'm like 22 at the time, maybe younger. And he goes, "We're having a ratings party, big success, we killed it." I go, "Oh, awesome, high five." I walk in. By the way, there's a chance he might be watching this. This is, let me just jump ahead. Mike saved this. As bad as this was, the dude saved it. He is still happily married, and he's sober. And this moment that I'm telling you about right now was the catalyst to turn in his badge and quit drinking. And he's still sober to this day. This moment right here. And, man, he went down. This is fucking down in flames. Holy fuck. I walk into the radio station. There's Rick, and I'm getting set. I'm pulling my CDs out to stack up because you got to have them ready to go because once the one ends, you start the next one. You got to put your new CD in and play that one. There's no digital anything. You had to have a live jock on the air. And Rick, the dude who made the video, goes, "Hey, I think that there's something going on with that Mike, our boss." I go, "Yeah?" He goes, "Yeah, I think him and Shar are getting a little fresh." I go, "What?" I go, "Come on now. Give me a break." He goes, yeah, I think he's getting fresh. I mean, that's ridiculous. Rick leaves. Night falls. I'm doing my thing. And I peer out, and everybody's gone. All right? And I go, all right. And that's the way it is most nights. I am the only person at the radio station. There's no one there. There was one other person that was at the radio station. It was the engineer, Kevin, who's still around to this day. He might be retired. I don't know. But he's down the hall doing nerd shit. And this dude was a dork. He was a big, robust, rotund guy with bone straight hair that came down in a bowl cut with giant glasses. And he's there doing soldering shit and fixing headphones and whatever. And but I think it's just him and I. But then a little time passes, and I see they're billing now over in the adjacent modular home. That's the sales office. And they're in there kind of like talking, Mike and this chick. I said to Kevin, I go, hey, dude, I think there's something going on. Rick said the same thing to me. He thinks that there's something, that those two are getting fresh. He goes, I don't think they're getting fresh. I go, yeah? And he goes, yeah, Char's got a steady boyfriend in Mount Pleasant. They live together. And Mike's been married forever, and he's got 2 kids. And I go, oh, okay. I don't know. We're just both really naive. Young and naive, I guess. I have no idea. Next time out of the radio station, out of the studio, I'm walking into like the main area where you walk in. I saw out the window. I actually see Mike, you know, like in the movies when there's going to be some sex going down in the office, they'll clear off a desk and go to town. Well, I saw that. And I'm like, uh-oh! And so I go, holy fuck. And I go back over to Kevin. I go, dude, it's going down. And he like looks out the thing through the blinds. He goes, holy shit, fuck. So we're like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I don't know. What the fuck can we do? Spray him with a hose? Fuck, what are you asking me for? I'm a 21-year-old fucking idiot wearing acid-washed jeans with fucking snakeskin boots. Fuck you. I'm going back in here and playing some fucking ugly kid Joe. Suck my dick. And then a little bit of time passes. I go back to Kevin. And there's now like the blinds are closed, you know? Like, holy shit, they're fucking, God damn it. And so I go, well, what about his wife? And he goes, well, she's back at home with the kids. I go, oh, fuck. So a little time passes and the hotline rings. I pick it up. And it's Mike's wife. And as soon as I pick it, I go, oh, yeah, hello, Z93. Hotline. This is Eric. And I get, yeah, hello, this is Barb. Is Mike there? Now, what the fuck would you do here? Would you say, yes, he is? Would you say, yes, and then when she says, can you get him? I'd say, I don't know where he is. Or, I mean, at this point, in my mind, I am coming up with all these scenarios that are going to make me, each one, a different degree of looking like an asshole and being a fucking idiot, complicit in all this. Now, I could say, yes. Can you get him? Well, I'd be interrupting him from having sex. Can you imagine if I said that? I mean, what the fuck am I going to do? So I did what I should do. Lie. I said, no. I don't know. I haven't seen him. He's not here. Oh, okay. Well, she sensed it. She knew. And, I mean, I don't know if there was an issue at home before that had her wondering something was up, or maybe he talked to her earlier in the day and she thought he might have been hitting the bottle or something. So I go back, I go, Kevin, she's calling me. And, and he goes, I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it. then I'm in the studio, and I'm getting ready to put my headphones on. Time has passed. All of a sudden, Kevin, who's able to see the parking lot and the road leading to the parking lot, he sees the car coming down the driveway. And, there's fucking dust coming up from behind it, sun setting. You can see some light on the car. And he's like, oh, fuck. And he gets up and comes running down the hall, but he was skipping. I'll never forget it. This big fat fuck with a bowl haircut and giant glasses going, she's here! She's here! And I'm like, oh, no! So she sees his car and her car. And as I turn on the mic, I hear a car accident occur. And she has smashed into one of the cars, I don't remember which one, and damaged it. That was the start of the rage. By the time I'm talking about, and it was right about the time, I think it was Metallica's Black album was out. What year did that come out? What year did Metallica Black album? 1991. Okay, that makes sense. And she starts breaking windows in the sales fucking trailer. And I can hear the glass breaking and screaming and yelling and all sorts of commotion. So I shut the door to the studio and I lock it. And it isn't long before what is going on there has wandered over to the studio. And not the studio, the modular where I'm in, but not my studio. And I do like my talk segment, and I can hear in my headphones coming through the mic all this craziness. And there's a tape, I'm sure, that existed somewhere. I don't think I have it anymore. You couldn't really hear it, though. I remember I went back and listened to it, and I couldn't really hear anything. But I was really rattled. And all I remember is opening up that door and acting like I didn't know what was going on, because I opened up the door and I went, what the hell's going on here? And there's Mike, and his shirt's ripped, and he's bleeding from the fucking face, and there's smeared blood on him. He's bleeding. And I go, and I see him, and he goes, you didn't see nothing. I didn't say anything. You're fucking God. I go, yeah, okay. I went back in the studio and slammed the fucking door. I don't move. I don't remember what eventually happened to Kevin. I think he bolted. Next thing I know, it's significant time has passed, and before I go out of the studio, I get a phone call. Everybody's left, or so I thought, and it's Mike's wife. She has called back. Now, she's back home. Mike is God knows where, and she says, just want to say thank you for lying to me. And I'm like, well, hang on a second. So I was able to talk with her for extended time and explain to her what I just explained to you. And she was reasonable. I'll never forget that. She understood where I was coming from and why I did what I did. And I think she also took into account my age, because she's quite a few years older than me. And so I explained to her why I did that, and why I lied to her. And then I'm actually like in almost in counseling mode. She's actually talking to me. And I remember talking to her for quite some time. And then I said, hey, can you hang on? I need to use the restroom or something like that. And so I put it on hold, and I walked out of the studio. And as I walk out of the studio, I hear, like, what's that? Is that the cat? Because we had a cat. What the fuck is going on here? This plot thickens. Like, where is this sound coming from? Help me. Like, someone's calling for help. Holy shit. the fuck? And I go into the production studio, and in the corner, huddled, like holding on to herself, is Shar, the chick. Help me. Help me. I'm like, are you okay? No. And now she's okay physically. But you can only guess where her brain is. And what she doesn't know is that Mike's wife has called her boyfriend. So he's aware. And he is packing her shit as she speaks. And she is not aware of that. So she's sobering up. And the next thing you know, I'm counseling her. So I go, come on, let's go. And I sit her down, and there's like a place to sit. And I go, you need something to drink, Shar. I'll get you some water. And maybe there's like a Coke here. I'm like, I'm trying to help her. And so she's sitting there, and she feels terrible. So then I would like talk to her and make her feel as good as I could. And then I would go and pick up the fucking phone and talk to Barb. And so I'm going back and forth from room to room. So I'm like playing song. All right, hang on a second. I got to put on this Soundgarden from this new band called Soundgarden. All right, Z93, here's a new one from this band Nirvana. It's called Smells Like Teen Spirit on Smash It or Trash It. I don't think anybody's going to like this one. Check it out. It's the Poor Boy at Night at Z90. I'm talking to Mike's wife. Hey, can you hang on? Put her on hold. Go talk to the other chick. Oh, my God. And I remember hearing after the fact that, well, because Kevin, the engineer, he was here when the windows were breaking. He said that he saw Barb hold the baby, the kid. She had two kids with her. One was in a car seat, little girl, and the other one, she had with her. And I guess in a fit of rage, she said, "Look what your dad's doing." Holy fuck. He is a grown, well-adjusted man now. I think he's an excellent guitar player these days. He's in his 30s. Everybody's still around. All these people exist in the world. And I had said to Mike, because I still talk to him, I go, Mike, every once in a while I tell this story. And you cannot be mad at me. He goes, I'm not. I go, good. Because there was a lot of damage that was done from that. I was fucked up for a long time. So fuck you. I'm telling this fucking story. You can go fuck yourself. I know, it's cool. So I'm counseling these two women. No one knows where Mike is. I convinced Shar. She's like, I got to go home. I go, all right. Now, I don't even know how drunk she was or if she was even drunk at all. She might have been. But she drove all the way home, which that's like about 35 minutes back to Mount Pleasant. She gets there, all right? Now, I don't know that this is happening, but when she gets there, let me just jump to this part. Then, like an hour later, it's getting near the end of my air shift, and there's another car coming down the fucking road. I go, all right, now what the fuck is this one? And I'm standing in the doorway of the mobile home of rock and roll, Newport cigarette in my hand, and it's the boyfriend and Shar. And he gets out and he sees me, and I look at him, and he looks at me. And then he goes to the trunk and pulls out bags of shit, clothes and stuff, and just throws it in the parking lot. And he opens up the door. He goes, get the fuck out. It's her. She's back. So he's grabbed her clothes, grabbed her, and dropped her off. Because he's obviously aware, because Mike's wife tipped him off at this. So then she's laying then he peels out, and I go, oh, fuck. She's laying in the dirt. She gets up. She grabs a bag. I go, come on. I help her up. I get her in there. There's like a cot in the back, I guess. So she ended up crashing there for the night. That's about all I remember from that night. I remember driving home and thinking, what a fucking catastrophe. Mark says, wait, she had a kid in her car when she was playing Demolition Derby. Two kids. A boy and a girl. Yes. Woman scorned. I don't know. Don't ask me. I have never spoken to Mike's wife again. But that was Friday. Saturday comes and goes. I talked to a few people at the radio station. There's an emergency meeting on Monday. And it's Mike. And the whole staff is there. And he apologizes for his behavior. He apologizes to me even more so because I was involved. And he then says I'm an alcoholic. He did it right, man. You got to get after. He goes, I'm checking myself into rehab. I'm going to be going away for a little bit. And he did. He vanished. Rick's going to run the radio station while I'm going to inpatient. He did like 40 days. Let him out, and he's a fucking new man. He never went back, and he saved it. I give his wife so much credit. And to this day, I think even after I helped her out, she doesn't want anything to do with me. I don't reach out to her or anything like that. But I can only imagine how terrible it would be if I actually came face to face with her. I felt bad for her. I felt the most bad for her. The kids don't recall anything. There's no way. Yeah, that was fucking unbelievable. I was like, holy shit. I couldn't wait to get home and tell Pooh Bear that story. I wasn't even married then. Chris K says that Mike saving this is Captain Smith saving the Titanic at the last minute. Yeah, it was unbelievable. What an effort. And he turned it around. He's been sober ever since. My God. All right. So there you go. That is an all-timer story. Today marks 5 years since COVID. This was the day that it really started to become more of an issue when, like, Tom Hanks said, I got it. Me and Rita, we got it. And all of the world went, oh, my God, Tom Hanks has got it. What are we going to do? We're fucked. And then I think a basketball player got it. And then they, like, wiped out. All right, we're going to the NBA is canceling that game. We are going to nip COVID in the bud and make it so that we're stopping it in its tracks. Rudy Gobert has it from the Utah Jazz. We're doing our part. That a whole NBA season was canceled. Then there was the NCAA March Madness. And they said, all right, we're going to do our part, no fans. And then they ended up saying, all right, no tournament. And then the NBA is like, no more basketball. I was at Van Andel Arena when all of what I'm telling you happened. Like, I was watching the updates on my phone. Tom Hanks has it. And the ref's like, all right, I'm going to call a penalty. What is it? It's on COVID. Tom Hanks has it. Everybody clear the ice. Not really. But when the game ended, everybody seemed to have an idea that the AHL wasn't coming back. And I didn't believe it. I thought, come on, man. Turn that frown upside down. All we got to do is flatten the curve. It's going to take about 4 days. Give me a fucking break. Rebecca says, I was watching the updates come through during that Griffins game. You mean you were in the facility with me? I didn't realize you were a fan. Maybe I did know that. I don't know. I remember, the governor of Michigan's like, we're just going to flatten the curve. It's just going to slow this thing down. At the time, I think there was 5,000 people around the globe who had died, and it was a huge deal because of it. Little did we know that you would have to multiply that times 1,650 to get the number of actual dead when it was all said and done. Schools ended up calling it quits. And then all the kids got stupid. You know, if you had a kid that was like in 8th grade when this happened, they're at the epicenter of stupid, because those kids, at first they were like, yeah, all right, 2 weeks off, then they'll be back. And then shit hit the fan. They ended up wiping out the school year. Then there was remote learning. And a lot of people were like, remote learning is great. It's the same thing as getting educated in school, but it's really not. They would have been better off just no school whatsoever. Because when those kids got back, they were stupid. So as this whole batch of kids works their way now out of school, God forbid if you have to hire a COVID kid who is now a COVID adult, because they can't do anything. They're the worst. And it's all COVID's fault. It's kind of like there was a period of time when all American cars would rust out because they were making them with shitty steel. These COVID students are the shitty American steel. So make sure you don't hire any of these kids. The days turned into weeks turned into months. And then my mom died. Let's see, that was March, so April, May, June, July, August, September. It took 7 months, and it finally got her. October 16th of that year. And then a lot of other people died. She was in the first big wave because it hit, and then it kind of petered out a little, and then it hit again. And then there was like several more. I remember there was, they didn't have the space at a lot of the morgues. So they were setting up temporary morgues, especially in large populated areas. And occasionally you'd see a story about how a temporary morgue, like the cooling system would break, and there'd be like COVID leaking street squeege, where they'd have to like go, clean up the street. You'd have to hose the street down from COVID decomposing corpse street squeege. Mark says, sorry for your loss. Yeah, that was a terrible moment. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. A lot of job loss. 5 years ago today, the markets dipped dramatically. Now, the markets dropped dramatically, but not nearly as far as what they tanked yesterday because of our stupid, dumb fuck president who is trying to put us all in the fucking poorhouse. It's worth mentioning again. All MAGA idiots, check to see how much of your money Trump has destroyed. Now, eventually it can come back if the markets pick up. But my God, I cannot believe that. I wonder what the Dow is doing right this moment. Dow now. No big deal. Yesterday's near 1,000 points has been followed up by right now nearly another 500 points. Get the fuck out of here. That is unbelievable. This is all on the heels of Trump and his tariffs. It was bad enough. I could understand the thinning out the government, like firing people who maybe have redundant positions or whatever. I guess. Because of government excess. But this tariff thing is fucking up. And not only that, he hasn't even implemented it. He kicked the can down the road to April again, April 7th. Just the threat of it is causing turmoil in the markets. All right, so only MAGA losers can look at their 401ks, and then you can get your buyer's remorse because you put this piece of shit in office who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. My God. Serves us right. Serves you right, you idiots. What the fuck? Yeah, but he's going to clean up the border. Yeah, you don't give a fuck about the border when you're broke, dick. God damn it. All right. I need to use the boys' room, and I'll be back momentarily. I hope you're enjoying the show. Stick with me, and I appreciate you. Oh, that's embarrassing. Music cut out. I hate when that happens. Sorry. How awkward is that? Thank you, as always, to the key sponsors that help keep this show going. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Buy now, refinance later, 231-332-6505. That's 231-332-6505. Call from anywhere in the U.S. and get started today with getting pre-approved for your mortgage. Tag CPA. Online at tagcpa.net. Tag Accounting and Tax Services. Business tax services. They can help you get your personal return done from anywhere in the U.S. That's my accountant for many, many years. That would be Troy. Call up and call 616-301-9516, 616-301-9516 from anywhere in the U.S. and get started today. The way this works, if you're in whatever state outside of this area of West Michigan, you'll end up uploading all your documents to the online portal. It's very, very simple. You'll be given a day, date, and time that your taxes will be done. If the Gins has any questions while he's doing your return expertly, he will give you a call. Just make sure you're free during that time period so that he can do that for you. And the next thing you know, your money is in your account. Online at tagcpa.net. I was reviewing for Who Are These Free Beers this week, and I'm going to give you a preview of it in just a second. But they said on the Monday edition, I think it was, that this week Greg has to leave town Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for the Big Ten tournament, his moonlighting gig, the $200 a game gig that he travels all over hell and high water to do. Whatever. He's done it forever. So they take those days off, which has a number of audience members saying, why? Why do you do that? Why don't you just do the show? But for whatever reason, probably because, I don't know. But on the days that Greg's not there, Kelly hosts it. And Hot Wings gets a lot of flack for that because your name's on the marquee. Do the show. Now, we all know, you know, I know, he doesn't have the acumen to do that. He doesn't have the ability. Oh, boy. We just watched in the background as Darla got on top of Bruce to sleep, and then he's like, fuck this, I'm moving. It was good for a second there. No, he doesn't have the ability to lead a show. There's no way. He just can't do it. He doesn't have, the brain doesn't fire quick enough for him to pull that off. All right? He's best in small doses. Everybody knows that. He knows that. But today, they're also off out of the blue, and people are talking. They're like, what happened? And I guess Kelly's not there or something like that. I don't know why Greg isn't there today. I thought it was supposed to be probably because he has to leave. He had to leave town to go to the games, and they were hoping that Kelly would lead the show for today. But she wasn't there today. So they all showed up to work except her, and then they all went home. So it would have been Hot Wings, Steve, Maitland, and Tommy. Now, Maitland and Tommy know how to run the equipment. They can run the controls. Fucking just turn on his mic and do the goddamn show. How hard can it fucking be? That's so incredible. And that has become a topic on their subreddit. They're off a day early. This person writes, I always wondered why he doesn't run the board or lead the show when Free Beer is gone. He doesn't deserve to make the money he makes. If you've been on a show for 30 years, yet you cannot run it, you don't belong on the marquee for sure. You should be paid like Tommy. Pay him in Skittles. Fucking embarrassing. Chris says they were in the studio on the cameras playing a best of. That is so bad. You don't even have the ability to crack a mic and talk. Something you've done forever. God, do they suck. That might be the most inept syndicated show I have ever listened to in my life. It is so bad. I've got some clips that I want to share with you. Coming up Thursday, we have another edition of Who Are These Free Beers? Show number 48, which you can get for free at patreon.com/Eric Zane. It's going to be an awesome Big Fraud Thursday. You got Who Are These Free Beers? And then you've got the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast with the Drop Machine reviewing the 1995 video that I was in. Making a complete asshole out of myself. In this clip that I have from the upcoming episode, show number 48, the crew was talking about a certain article that they found online. And when Kelly reiterated a web address, well, I cringed.
Was it in something like the Wall Street Journal?
It was from Gizmodo.
Gizmodo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
yeah, gizmodo.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you a first. Typically, a crispy R has something like a K or a C in front of it, or a G. Graham cracker. Crispy. Creamy. Crack. But not this time. She took the word org, like on a web address, and gave a crispy R to org.
Yeah, gizmodo.org. Yeah, gizmodo.org. Org.
Is it the strong G at the end that does it?
Org.
Org. Wow. That is rough.
Org.
I don't think that's ever been heard before.
Org.
By the way, I noticed in yesterday's reviewing that, and I've heard them make fun of her about this, the word singer has 2 G's in it to her. She says singer. Singer. This singer.
Org.
I have updated the Kelly Cheese Crispy R Supercut, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot wait to play this for Ben Glaze on Thursday.
Cream. Craigslist. Great. Cream cheese. Graham cracker. Cream cheese. Crayons. How do you guys say cream? As clean or crisp? Org.
All right, there you go. That is your preview of Thursday's Who Are These Free Beers? It'll be an outstanding episode. I'm already 13 clips into it. And it's Tuesday's not even completed. Ben Glaze and I will be reviewing recent work from the world-famous Free Beer and Hot Wings show. Please tell your friends. Bob says, voice of an angel. Molly says, it feels like you're about to hawk Tua, then speak for the R. I think I know what you mean. Yeah, definitely sounds like she's building a spitball, then she rolls the R. Cole with a great idea. You could beep the first part of her saying singer, like bleep sing. I need to write that down. We could call it racist cheese. Oh my God, that's great. What a suggestion. I wouldn't have thought of that in a million fucking years. Holy shit. I want to end the show, pull the audio, and do it right now. Oh my God. Thank you. You see above my shoulder, it says Adam Kasari Realty, 914-4061, 616-914-4061. Adam is the brand new realtor of choice on the Eric Zane Show podcast. If you want to buy a house in West Michigan, look up Adam Kasari Realty on Facebook. ADAMCASARI Realty. Adam will work very hard to put you in a home that you want, tirelessly, while he's courting you to get your business, and after, to make sure that every T is crossed and every I is dotted. Adam Kasari Realty on Facebook. Search him out, and please mention me when you bang on his door about getting into a home. Adam Kasari Realty, 616-914-4061. All right. Where else do I want to go today? Okay, I talked about remembering COVID 5 years ago today. It just doesn't seem like that long ago. For me, it was weird because on my end, I was only 1 year into podcasting at that point, a little bit more than, and I had been used to being here all the time. In fact, I still live the same way as I did then. So it wasn't that odd for me, except for like going to the store with all the, you can only let a certain amount of people in the store and everything gets wiped down and the masks. And then it was getting political with all these assholes like you dumbasses who voted for Trump bitching about the masks, even though they were 1,000,000% effective. I hated all of that. It was fucking unbelievable because I started going hard on people who didn't agree with me, and I still do. It was because of all you dumbasses that my mom died. Thanks for killing my mom, idiots. Anyway, I didn't really have a lot of setbacks other than the passing of my mother. There was one of the friend of mine who's an accountant named Milton, former intern. He says, "Hey, you can get COVID loan. It's free money." I go, "What? Huh? FBA." So I looked it up, and I remember looking at it, and it looked so janky. It looked pretty sketch, but it was legit. You like put in your name, and then it says accept money, and then you get like a ton of cash. And I filled it out, and then I went, well, things are going okay for now, so I'm gonna wait. So I didn't take the money. And then Nick writes, wasn't allowed to go fishing alone in nature. So effective. Yeah, thanks for killing my mom, Yandu. I didn't take the loan. Now remember, well, I didn't. Radio station owner Joe Gassman, Joseph McFarland Gassman, took 2 loans for his Grand Haven radio stations. We all know that. I went ahead and established a file of all the shit Joe did and screenshotted everything with contact info and submitted it to the Justice Department I am not kidding. This guy did this. This is who he is. He didn't need this because of this reason. He doesn't own radio stations. Here's his contact info. I did all that shit. And you can browse and attach the screenshots if you wanted to rat anybody out through the Justice Department. Oh, I was full bore. I was bragging about it on Facebook that son of a bitch stole. Ryan says, I wonder if the Justice Department got around to it before they were doged. All right. Where was I? Rebecca says, I love how petty you are. Oh, yeah, I always remember jersey numbers. I go hard. I don't ever, Nope. I'm going to get you. I will get you one way, shape, or form. I'm going to get you. I'm here for a lot of time during the day. I have time for little side projects, and I absolutely pursue all of them. Ryan says, as they say, fuck around and find out. FAFO. Yes, absolutely. All right. What else did I want to do with you? I've got a few things, but I'm not going to lie. I've got kind of like a little bit of a deficiency in content today. Man Bun Chris says, like the Reddit girl, LOL. Have I talked about that on this show, Chris? The Reddit girl? I think we should. If I haven't. People have a tendency on my subreddit, which isn't the most populated thing. People will just wander over to my neck of the woods on my subreddit, which has like 600 people maybe that follow it. Not even. And like 2 weeks ago, somebody posted on there this. I guess I had talked about the instant replay machine, the drop machine. And I guess the little boy on Freeburn Hot Wings who posts things, he did a little story about hot wings and his clips. And I think I did address this on my show. This part, but not this moment when the chick busted my balls. So somebody said, what are the odds? Maybe I missed something else, but Easy talks about the ancient instant replay system, and then it immediately gets talked about on Free Beer and Hot Wings. So whether or not there's anything to that, I don't know. But somebody thought that there was. And let's see. I don't know how to sort this. Okay. This person wrote, this person named Distance Entire 7219. Wrote, imagine caring this much about what other people do years and years after they've long forgotten about you. Yikes. Now, I didn't post it. I had nothing to do with that. I just read it. The person underneath this person, who I guess is a woman, I don't know that when I read it, wrote, it's the same way your husband has forgotten about you when he's plowing the new girl at work. Yikes. And that person, who is a woman, wrote, LOL, cute. And then I saw that. I'm like, what's that all about? What's going on? So I clicked on that woman who wrote that crack at me. And I guess this is the thing where you go to like someone's, what else they post in, and look at what they've posted. And she posted a thing in, on another spot online, another Reddit page about her husband not loving her or some shit. God, I can't even remember it. I screenshotted it, though. This is what she wrote. I don't think my husband is the cheating type, but I simply cannot understand why for the past year he has slowly distanced himself from me. He doesn't sleep in bed with me, hasn't for over a year, and now will barely touch. So she wrote that in the subreddit marriage. Well, that's all I needed to see. So I screenshotted that, and now I understand why this guy wrote that. But I said, well, you can do better than that. You got to show the receipts, man. So I wrote, maybe if you spent less time here, your husband might love you. Go fuck yourself. And then she wrote, again, why so obsessed with everyone else? Get a life. It's beyond pathetic at this point. And I wrote, well, I'm just pointing out, again, never let me know that I've gotten your goat. I wrote, I'm just pointing out that maybe if you spend less time on Reddit, your husband wouldn't find you gross, like you indicated. And then she wrote, LOL. And then she wrote, miscarriage can be hard. Which, I don't know, that's fucking weird. And I wrote, are you a fatty or something? And then she wrote, aren't you in your 40s and still get to this level? 50s? Yeah, of course I get to this level. I'm the same guy I was when I was a kid, for fuck's sake. What's your excuse, you fat whore? This all says much more about you, but you seem too emotionally stunted to realize you are obsessed with other adults, and it's very sad and pathetic. Now, again, this fucking fat bitch came to my page and started this. I love that when people do that. They come to my page, they start a fucking fight. I don't have anything to do with it when she threw me under the bus the first time. And then I, of course, dropped the nuclear bomb. That's how I roll. And I wrote, all right, whatever. So did the old man finally leave you? She wrote, nope. He just railed me this morning before work. Ugh. Any other marital status questions? Perhaps my social security. So she's really coming unglued. I said, look, it's not my fault that you turned to Reddit to discuss your marital issues. Also, are you a fatty? She says 5'20" and 5 foot tall. So no. Let's see. I'm sorry you and your poor wife are too Catholic to probably ever divorce, no matter how unhappy she is, for fear your God will hate you. But he's not real and definitely already hates you for what a poor excuse of a man you confirm to be. Now, Reddit removed that, but I'm going to approve that comment. So that's awesome. Wow. So that's what Chris wanted me to talk about. So there you go. I'm glad you reminded me to do that because I had forgotten all about that incident. Luke said, I was the original poster. On Friday, you said we should be nicer, but I saw this dumbass's comment, was going to leave it alone, but I saw what an asshole she was in previous comments. Rebecca says that I murdered that lady. And I know I did because she responded so strongly. And it's like, well, look, I didn't do it. You're the one who came in here, started shit, and I just took something that you posted on another thread that your husband doesn't love you. And by the way, she's only 31, that chick, because there was another post she made and she revealed her age. I was like, oh my God, what a fucking nightmare. Matt says that Easy is the Trump of trolling. I think that is good. Is that good? Does that make me good? Molly says I'm fucking dying. Yeah, I like it when people go to my subreddit and talk shit because I always engage them, and then they go overboard with the comments talking about Catholic and all that shit. What the fuck? Huh? You're the one who picked the fight, you fat whore. Fuck you. Man Bun Chris says it best. They go low, I will go lower. Always, every time. Always. I will always fight. I fight dirty. I will always fight dirty. You know? I'll wait till you're not looking and I'll stab your fucking spinal cord. That's what I'll do. You asshole. Fuck you, you fat bitch. Chris says, Easy goes for their shins with a crowbar. Oh, thank you for reminding me of that. God damn. Yeah, you got to fight to win, Chris says. Yeah, I'm at a disadvantage. You're anonymous. From the jump, you've got an advantage. All right? Jesus. All right. That bought me some time. What do I want to talk about now? Oh, I have a ton of shit today. Yeah, I'm pretty lame. There's not a lot here. I got a couple sports-related things that we got to get into. This one actually a couple of weeks old, and it's kind of timely because, the basketball tournament is getting ready to start. We're going to do our brackets again, the ESPN Tournament Challenge. That's a lot of fun. I'll post it, and we'll talk about it here. They announce the brackets coming up on Sunday. That's called Selection Sunday. Starting tomorrow, they do these interconference tournaments that really don't. I guess they can mean something. So that happens. Then they announce the teams, March Madness, and then we all don't pay attention to work and we watch the games. I would love to put money on it somehow. This is a player by the name of Duke Miles. The young man is laying it all on the court.
Furious that after the first...
And he got injured. Now he's face down, and he's taken a hard fall. And you see this right in front of him, this little white speck. That is not like a piece of tissue paper. They're going to show the replay.
Furious that after the first miss on the offense.
Okay, now this guy's left hand gets down and picks something up. He picks up another. And then
he did not stop play. But
they're starting to pick up those little white things on the court.
I don't know how you stop play on a loose ball.
No, I agree with you, Richard.
It looks almost like the trainers are getting on their hands and knees looking for like a contact or something small.
Young man is down. Duke on the floor obviously hit his head, but you can't take away the advantage that Mississippi State has at the other end.
Okay, now there's two guys there. He's the one that's really dark.
Look at this, the dive.
Okay, now did you see that? The head.
Look at this, the dive.
The head hit the court.
Look at this, the dive. 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 Oh.
He holds
Duke
his
Miles.
mouth. All right. Now there
goodness.
you got a close-up of the teeth. He has busted out all of his fucking teeth. And that's what we see right now. Broken teeth. Wear your mouth guard, dickhead.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that was the face plant.
Those are teeth they are picking up.
Now, look. That's horrific. Rebecca says, enjoy your unplanned dental work. We can't go a second further without going back to the selfie heard round the world. I was seated in between the penalty boxes at the Grand Rapids Griffins game when Teemu Pulkkinen fired a puck. Rebecca was in the stands when this happened. The puck was about 5 inches off the ice, headed towards the net. Pulkkinen had the hardest shot in the league, second to Marty Firk. The puck hit Brian Lashoff's stick, and it rode up the stick and then launched off the stick, and it stopped in Callahan's mouth. So it was friendly fire. He immediately covers up his face and skates off of the ice. Lashoff gets on his hands and knees, starts picking up his teeth. Now, the teeth are white. The ice is white. It's hard. He's trying to find the teeth. And we're like, we didn't really realize it at the time what had happened. And then we kind of go, uh-oh. He must have. Oh, no, he got hit in the mouth with the puck. Shit. Callahan goes to the trainer's room. The dentist gets up from the seats because we have a dentist and a team doc who's literally watching the game. And when they see something like this happens, they have to get up, immediately go down, and attend to the player. Rebecca says, I was behind the bench. I remember saying that those are teeth in Brian Lashoff's hands. And that's true. Now, he could have just taken the teeth and thrown them away because they were no good. Well, while the dentist and the doc are looking at Mitch, he goes, give me my cell phone. And Dog gives him his cell phone, and he takes a snapshot, a selfie of himself, and he posts it immediately. On the radio, Bob Kaiser and Larry Figursky are doing the broadcast. And you hear collectively in the arena, people are going, oh. And we're like, what's going on? People are reacting, and because now the selfie's getting out. And on the radio broadcast, you hear Larry Figursky go, like Bob's just talking about whatever. He doesn't know. He's oblivious. Larry grabs his phone and looks at it. It's a notification about Callahan tweeted. And he sees that, what I'm about to show you, and he goes, oh, my God. You won't believe it. Mitchke just interrupts him. You won't believe it. So this is that. That's what he did. He took that selfie and posted it. It was the selfie heard round the world. My God. That was incredible. What a moment that was. He ended up getting some dental work. It was like a retainer with like fake teeth on it. This is Mitch talking about his recovery.
I'm still in the process of that. I'm getting surgery hopefully within the next week.
Okay, now he has a partial in right now, so it doesn't look bad.
I'll be out anytime.
How long were you in pain from that?
When I had my mouth wired shut, it hurt. I couldn't do much, couldn't open my mouth. But the worst part was after they took the wires off, trying to open my jaw, that hurt really bad. And also chewing on food, my teeth were really sensitive. So those were the two worst parts out of everything.
How long was that process?
After I got the mouth, the wires off my teeth, probably about a good 6 weeks for me to start chewing hard food again.
When did you have the surgery?
I had this surgery to get the wires on April 3rd.
To be a part of a viral video is one thing, but to be in a viral video the way you were has to be pretty surreal. Or...
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea it was to explode that much. I more so tweeted the picture to kind of like let all my family and friends know I was okay and this is what happened, because I was getting texts like crazy after the game. But if I were to do it again, I don't think I would. I think I would have kept it more private just because of the way it blew up. But, I mean, there's nothing I could have done about it. Nothing I can do about it now.
How many retweets did it get, you know?
I think I want to say over 7,600.
7,600 retweets. Well, what's interesting is he did get a chance again, because in practice, it happened again next year to him, which destroyed the rest of the teeth. I am not making it up. He got hit in the mouth again and broke the rest of them. Sorry, O'Neill. Oh, it was so bad. And that was in practice, not at the games, obviously. There was no picture to go with it, but it happened again. Same deal. Wired the jaw shut. Man Bun Chris says hockey people are another level of tough. I don't know if tough is the right word. I think there's another word you would have to use. I've never understood. I used to talk, Jamie Tardif, ex-player, I go, why don't you wear a mask? Why don't you wear a cage? He goes, absolutely not. I said, why? He goes, I don't want to look like a child. I don't want to look like an idiot. And that was a repeat conversation many times over. He doesn't play anymore as a coach now. When the guy got his neck slashed and died on the ice, that wasn't that long ago. That might have been an international play or something like that. Then they finally started to wear these protectors around their necks. And the American League finally made it that you had to wear one. I don't get it. I don't understand why they do the way they do, or what they do, why they do those things, is what I meant to say. All right. Finally today, I want to get into a little bit of what happened during the Michigan State basketball game. Now, it was the last game of the year. They were hosting Michigan. And it's, of course, in East Lansing, and it's senior day. So at the end of the game, the seniors will go up to the center court and they'll kiss the court as the game is winding down. Michigan has won the game. They're winning by almost 20 points. They beat Michigan twice this year. Michigan's all right. Michigan State's pretty darn good. They finished the regular season as one of the hottest teams in the whole country. So they're pretty damn good this year. And Michigan gets throttled this last game, and they're finishing the game at the free throw line. And while the final free throws are being shot by Michigan, one of the Michigan State players, more than one senior, one of them kisses center court, but he's kind of like not directly at center court because there's two Michigan players that are standing directly on center court. And their idea was, we're not going to let you kiss center court. And now this is at Michigan State. Why would you? I don't understand why you would do that. And it's not like it's kissing center court is to show up the other team. If win or lose, they're going to kiss center court. They just happen to have won that game. So I don't understand why Michigan players would even do this in the first place. So first Michigan State guy, he kisses just off of the logo. The next guy, I don't know who the fuck he is. He's going to kiss it too, but those motherfuckers are standing there, and he's not going to, he wants to kiss right where they're standing. All right? I know this sounds kind of dumb, but it's athletics, so it's kind of, and it's their tradition. It's what they do. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't give a shit. But this seems pretty stupid by the Michigan players to do that. So the one guy who wants to go kiss the court, he wants to fight now. The Michigan State guy wants to fight these two assholes for standing at center court. So this is how that unfolded.
Places Zapawa.
Hold up now.
Easy does it. Michigan and Michigan State. This is not part of the celebration.
Not the way to end it.
So this guy here at the top of the screen, he's the one who took exception with it. They're going to show it from a different angle.
The two guards were at half court.
Pippen, Brooks, and Holloman.
They look like.
Okay, there you go.
Kaysen and.
Number 5 is taking exception to them standing there. Because they're talking, too. They're saying, fuck you, we're not moving.
There with maybe standing at center court. Holloman not happy about that.
You're right.
I mean, they got to know it's part of the tradition, for one. It's not to demean anybody.
Okay, now the two coaches are going to hammer it out.
When you think of what Michigan State did at Iowa.
This is the Michigan coach. He's saying to Izzo, hey, these are two stupid assholes. Don't worry about it. Sorry about that, coach. He's showing some respect, as he should.
They didn't celebrate at that game. Yep. They waited.
And Izzo says, I appreciate that.
And enjoyed it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Do not throw any items onto the floor.
No, this is completely unfortunate.
All right, that's ridiculous. After the game, Coach Izzo spoke. You know, like they're saying goodbye to the seniors.
We have a freaking tradition here. Nobody changing our tradition.
It's mic'd badly. We got a tradition. Nobody's going to take our tradition. But, you know, whatever. That's good. You want to get them riled up. He should then say, now go into the locker room and beat the fuck out of those guys.
So Trey Holman, come here a minute.
Now, this is the guy that, did the push-in. This guy. He didn't get to kiss the court, so now he's going to kiss the court. All right, whatever.
I don't want you doing that very often. But this one time, just that freaking ass like you're
All right, there you go. That's his last game in East Lansing. Now it's all set. All right. See, that's great. I like that. This is that guy, Trey Holloman, speaking after the game about that incident.
The little freshmen, I guess they were standing on the sparring head where the seniors kiss it, and then they was like we're not moving, and then I just had to move them. As the captain here, man, I can't let nothing slide, especially versus them, man. They try to do us wrong, man. But Michigan State means a lot to me. I bleed green, so.
All right, so he's super dumb, but I like him. I like him, and I like that the Spartans won that game. I like that he did what he did. But I that's something I can get behind. That type of response. All right. So I will root for the Spartans in the tournament based on that. Chris K says, kind of like planting a flag at OSU. Whiny bitches. David says it sounds dumb because it is dumb. Donut Dan says they should have called a timeout instead. Piano Finger Banger says Izzo sounds like he smokes 2 packs a day. Yeah, he does. Rich says definitely not there on an academic scholarship. No, of course not. Come on now. By the way, I just got tipped off that coming up in September at Van Andel Arena to start the next hockey season, the Detroit Red Wings, that is Sunday, September 21st. Mark your calendars. It is the Detroit Red Wings prospect game. That is the red team against the white team. So this is, you can always see the future of Griffins hockey at Van Andel Arena, but this is going to be even more so because you got the guys that they just drafted and the ones that are trying to make the team. I've actually announced a red and white game in the past at Little Caesars Arena, so this will be my second one because I guess the Red Wings said they want the Griffins to use their entire infrastructure to put the game on. So that's cool. I got reached out to this today. Hey, you probably already heard about this. We're hosting red and white game. I go, I didn't hear about it. Is everybody talking about it? Yeah, it's news all over the place. How come you don't know? No. All right. So, yeah, I'm excited about the tournament with that happening. I mean, all I want to do is watch like the last 1 minute of all of those games, especially the first weekend of games, because you're going to get several moments where a shitbox team is going to beat a great team. And you can actually see their hearts break when the shitbox team is watching the clock hit 0. I think there was a shitbox team last year that went really far. I think it was North Carolina State. I think last year they won like 2 games the whole year, and then they won their tournament, which meant they got an automatic bid. And then they beat the shit out of everybody all the way to like the second to last game or some shit. And that coach of theirs, they're like, oh, we knew it. You're great. And then this year came and went, and he was shitty again this year. And this year they fired him. Nick says, are we going to do the brackets again this year? Yes, Yandu. We talked about that earlier. Where were you? Maybe you were busy. I don't know. I don't know why I'm yelling at you. Thank you, as always, to Frank Fuss, My Policy Shop Insurance. Reach out to Frank at buyinsurancehere.com. That is buyinsurancehere.com. He can help you get started with your healthcare.gov policy, which anybody can do. But have Frank do it for you, and it's free, and that way it's done right the first time. So if you are in between jobs, perhaps you're unemployed or you're self-employed, you're going to get your health care from healthcare.gov, and you're going to get a great policy. And Frank's going to help you every step of the way. All right? Some of you are like, how does that even work? What is that? Well, the way it works is the government gives you a tax credit for the upcoming tax year. So they pay for most of the premium, provided your earnings stay under, I think, $105,000 for a couple. You get north of that, then you got to pay it back at the end of the year. Unless if you got a good tax guy. Anyway, buyinsurancehere.com. That's where you go. That's just a form, that you fill out with all your information. Frank will get back a hold of you and take care of you every step of the way. And as always, Frank's services are 100% free. The Grand Rapids Gold are in action coming up Saturday. NBAGrandRapids.com. That's NBAGrandRapids.com. Get your tickets for Space Jam night. We'll be there. I want you to be there. Get tickets for you and the whole family. Tickets are cheap. The beer is cold. The beer is not cheap, but it's still fun. Grand Rapids Gold, NBAGrandRapids.com. Thank you for being a sponsor of the Eric Zane Show podcast. Man Bun Chris says, who is the realtor that's been on the rolling ads by your head, EZ? They look new. Yes. I mentioned it earlier. You were probably fixing your hair. Adam Kasari Realty. A-D-A-M, Adam Kasari, C-A-S-A-R-I. Realty. You can reach him either on Facebook, just search Adam Kasari Realty. Or you can call him at 616-914-4061. It is time now to award the asshole of the day. By the way, you see on his sign there, Adam, he's got like checkered flags. He's a race car driver at Berlin Raceway. And the Eric Zane Show podcast logo is going to be on the top of his car when he's racing at Berlin this year. Who is your asshole of the day? Oh, that's a good one, Dan. Ripped from the headlines that we just had. Brought to you by our friends at TC Paintball. Your asshole of the day today is Michigan basketball. Fuck you. You're the asshole of the day. Luke says that chick on Reddit. Oh, by all means. She could be too, but I'm already done with it. So that's where I'm going to leave this one, folks. Thank you so much, as always, for being here. I will talk to you a little later on with the Patreon. Till then, have a good one. Thank you, and bye-bye.